Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Voices from the Mausoleum. And in today's episode of Spooky Sunday Stories, I'm going to be apologizing profusely to Jen Bernardini, who is someone who's been on my channel before. She's also a horror author. And she sent me this story that I'm reading today a millennia ago. And I am so sorry, love, that I am just getting to it. I actually stopped doing spooky Sunday story or spooky readings for a little while. A lot of life changes. I just did not have the time to commit to them or the space for a while. So I'm back to trying to do them regularly. So I was going back through my emails, getting organized and planning episodes. And I was like, fuck. So here we are. And because I feel horrible that I've taken so long to do this one, I'm going to do some extra plugging. I am pretty sure that she told me at one point that the story I'm going to be reading today, which I'll introduce in just a second, was the short story that actually inspired her other book, We All Fall Down. I have not had an opportunity to read this yet, but it is definitely on my list. I got it as soon as it came out. HG34 supervirus has scorched the earth of many of its inhabitants. Those unlucky enough to still be wandering the streets must fight for their survival. Choice becomes an illusion, and the fate of millions rests uneasily in the palm of President Virginia Hill's hands when she runs for and wins the presidential election. Civilization is crushed into dust when the president does the unthinkable and poisons her people. Libby and her 6-year-old son team up with brothers Lincoln and Gideon on one drug dealer and a conspiracy theory on the brain and the other an ex-con. They struggle to survive as they search for answers as to what happened and what to do next. We all fall down. I am like 99% sure that she told me that the story I'm going to read today is what part of what influenced her writing this novel. And one other thing I wanted to say about her is Jen put together this anthology a couple months back called Something Bad Happened, an Anthology of Horror. This has a lot of really cool people in it. My next episode, I'm actually going to be reading one of the stories out of here. So I'm not going to go through the list. But anyway, she put in a lot of work to get this anthology together. It's got some phenomenal writers in it, some beautiful images that were done by Wayne. I don't want to say it wrong. I feel like, oh, shit. Am I crazy? Is his name not Wayne? Wayne Finlan? Sorry if I butchered that, Wayne. So anyway, check out this anthology. If you like this story, go check out We All Fall Down. So, without further ado. So the name of this story is called 1,000 Bloated Flies. So I'm going to jump into that. Okay. 1,000 Bloated Flies by Jennifer Bernardini. They come in the night, buzzing in the dark like 1,000 bloated flies. I lay awake, my eyes clenched shut. If I don't see them, maybe they won't see me. Maybe they won't land in my eyes and drink them dry. I've been here for 13 days. There were 4 of us, 4 idiots who thought taking an old boat to this island was a good idea. We were trying to get away from the infection. Oh God, the fucking infection. HG34, the CDC called it. I don't know what the hell it means. Early symptoms are much the same as the flu or severe cold. Fever, body aches, vomiting, congestion. The second stage is skin lesions, painful rash, difficulty breathing, chest pain, and or difficulty walking. The third stage of the HG34 virus is bleeding from the eyes, anus, and mouth, teeth becoming loose, hair loss, rapid weakening of limbs, and cognitive difficulty. People were dying in the streets. Hospitals couldn't handle the epidemic. We thought we'd get out on the boat, come out to this little island, and wait it out. Now it's just me and the flies. When the screaming begins, I know it's just in my head. The shrieking comes to me like an ex-lover, familiar and horrible at the same time. I can hear them, the other 3. Judy, Matthew, Freddie, my friends. I don't sleep, not really. I lay here trying to shield my face from the flies. They want to crawl over my face, their little feelers rubbing together, tasting my sweat. They want to lay eggs in my ears to use me to feed their maggots. The little shack we found, Really, just a few boards nailed together is my only shelter. The gaps are so large between the slats that the flies dance through no problem. They'd find me even if it was airtight. On the third day, our supplies ran out, and so we foraged. This island was a horrible choice. There's nothing here but squirrels and bushes. We tried to catch the squirrels. Matthew caught a few. The fifth day, we tried to leave, to get back to the boat and go back to the mainland. But it wasn't there anymore. Only Judy, standing on the shore, waving as the boat drifted further and further away. She looked at me, said she knew we were going back to the sickness, said she couldn't allow us that choice. Judy was the first to die. We thought we were safe here. I don't know why we thought that. When we landed and the boat thumped against the shore, we should have known we would all die here. Poor Judy, with her nervous smile and her curly brown hair, she didn't even see it coming. On the seventh day, Matthew fell and hit his head on a rock. Do you know how much head wounds bleed? A lot. They bleed a lot. He probably needed stitches, but I'm not a doctor, and neither was Freddie. Matthew walked around that entire day, acting weird, confused. He fell asleep and didn't wake up. Freddie, poor Freddie. She was my girl. Eyes like caramel, skin the color of mahogany. It was just me and her. She told me she knew it would be just us in the end. I smiled and nodded, put my arm around her. Freddie. Day 12. The squirrels must be smarter than me because I couldn't catch any of them in my traps. Not a single fucking one. Freddie sat on the beach, her toes in the water, looking out at the life we'd left behind. I sat next to her, watching as the bloated moon floated on the waves. We did this to ourselves. She didn't have to say it. I knew it. She wanted to go back. Hell, I wanted to go back. There was no way back. Freddie leaned her head on my shoulder and closed her eyes. I caressed her cheek. I told her it would all be okay, that we'd make it out. I raised the knife to her throat and dragged it across, parting flesh as quickly as I could. I didn't want her to suffer. I loved her. I watched for 4 whole minutes as she thrashed, her eyes large and watering. Blood seeped through her fingers as she tried to stop what I started. At night, I hear the screams. Judy, Matthew, Freddie. They visit me when I close my eyes, lurk in the shadows at the edge of my vision. I know they'll always be there. I can't say I blame them. They're with me, each one of them. I did what I had to do to survive. I ate them. That is 1,000 Bloated Flies by Jen Bernardini. If that doesn't make you want to go read the other book, I'm not really sure what will. So, I'm so sorry again, Jen, for holding off on posting this. I am so sorry. Yeah, I highly do recommend checking out her stuff. I also recommend following her. I'll put all of her information as well as where to find both of those books in the description for this episode. That's all I have for Spooky Sunday Stories. I hope you guys had a great weekend so far. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great week coming up, and I'll see you in the next one.